Deep beneath the Caribbean Sea, there's a legend. We're talking about a Spanish galleon lost for more than 300 years, and it's holding a treasure so huge it's actually started a modern-day war. This is the incredible story of the San José, a shipwreck that has become a battleground for nations, for corporations, and for entire peoples, all fighting over history, heritage, and just an unbelievable amount of money.
Okay, let's just start with the number at the heart of all this. $17 billion. That is the jaw-dropping estimated value of the gold, silver, and emeralds that were packed into the holds of the San José. A figure so big it has, of course, fueled a legal and political firestorm for decades.
And yeah, because of that staggering number, the San José has a nickname, the Holy Grail of Shipwrecks. I mean, it represents one of the biggest single piles of treasure ever lost at sea. It's a perfect time capsule from the peak of the Spanish Empire. Finding it wasn't just an archaeological discovery, it was literally like stumbling upon a submerged bank vault.
And the second it was found, this one monumental question exploded to the surface. When a treasure this massive is found, who actually has the right to claim it? Is it the nation that finds it in its waters? What about the empire that built the ship in the first place? Or maybe the salvage crew that says they found it first? Or, and this is a big one, what about the people whose ancestors were forced to mine all that gold and silver? That question is the core of this whole tangled story.
So to really understand the battle that's raging today, we have to rewind the clock. We're going back over 300 years to the ship's final, fiery voyage. Because the violent end of the San José is the very reason we're all talking about it right now. So here's what you've got to understand. The San José wasn't just on some casual trip. This was a critical military mission. Spain was desperate for cash to fund the War of the Spanish Succession. So when a British squadron showed up, they weren't just random pirates. They were the enemy, and they were trying to cut off Spain's lifeline. The explosion that sent the San José to the bottom of the sea, it was a single violent moment in a huge European war that totally by accident created this massive international fight we're seeing today.
All right, let's fast forward back to the present day. The moment that wreck was officially located in 2015, the fight over its past completely morphed into this complex four-way brawl for what might be the richest treasure in history.
And this table just lays out the conflict perfectly. You've got four completely different, powerful arguments. First, Colombia says, hey, it's in our water, it's our cultural heritage. But then Spain comes back with, not so fast. That was our sovereign naval warship, and we never surrendered it. Then you have a U.S. company, Sea Search Armada, saying, wait a minute, we found the area back in '81, and a court said we're owed half. And finally, the Chiara Carrara nation of Bolivia makes this profound historical claim saying, hold on, our ancestors were forced into slavery to mine that gold and silver. It belongs to us. So you see, it's not just about the money. It's about national property, legal contracts, and deeply rooted ancestral rights.
So with all these competing claims, how in the world do you even start to figure out who has the strongest legal case? Well, to get a handle on that, we need to look at another famous shipwreck, kind of a ghost from the past that completely changed the rules of treasure hunting and set a really powerful precedent. At the absolute heart of this legal fight is this powerful idea called sovereign immunity. In simple terms, it basically means you can't just take another country's military property, even if you find it in your backyard. There's a law, the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, or FSIA, that makes it super clear. A nation's warships are protected. They're basically seen as an extension of the country itself, even if they sank centuries ago.
And this brings us to a case nicknamed the Black Swan. Back in 2007, a salvage company called Odyssey Marine Exploration found a wreck off the coast of Gibraltar. They recovered over 500,000 gold and silver coins, worth about $500 million, and immediately flew them back to Florida. Well, Spain sued them right away, saying, that's our ship. It's our naval frigate, the Nuestra Señora de las Mercedes, which sank in 1804.
And this is a great breakdown of the arguments that decided where that treasure went. So Odyssey Marine argued that since the Mercedes was carrying some private cargo, it was basically on a commercial trip, so that whole sovereign immunity thing shouldn't apply. But Spain countered, saying, look, the ship was a warship on a sovereign mission, and carrying some private stuff was totally normal and state-approved back then. Their winning argument, though, was that the ship and its cargo are one and the same, a single sovereign entity. And the U.S. courts? They sided completely with Spain. They ruled the Mercedes was a sovereign naval vessel, immune from being seized under that FSIA law, and they ordered Odyssey to return every single coin. This was a huge landmark decision. It sent a crystal-clear message to treasure hunters everywhere. Sunken military ships are not finders keepers. And for the San José, this verdict set a massive, really important legal precedent. Okay, so with that legal precedent really strengthening Spain's claim, what is Colombia doing now? How are they trying to secure the treasure and tell their side of the story?
Well, we're already seeing the first incredible pieces of history being recovered. Using these amazing remotely operated vehicles, the Colombian government has started exploring the site, and they've already brought up some stunningly well-preserved artifacts. I'm talking delicate porcelain cups totally intact, bronze cannons that still have their original markings, and gold and bronze coins called macuquinas. These were the crude, hand-struck coins of the era.
This quote from Algena Caicedo Fernandez really captures Colombia's official position on this whole thing. For them, this is not a treasure hunt. It's about connecting their own citizens to a shared, tangible piece of history that until now has just been a legend. The goal here is cultural, not commercial.
So, it's pretty clear that Colombia is moving forward with a very methodical plan. They're funding the first phase themselves with over $7 million, and they're stressing that they will not sell a single artifact to pay for the operation. And that's a direct shot at concerns from groups like UNESCO, who are against commercializing underwater cultural sites. Colombia's big dream, their ultimate vision, is to raise the entire wreck and build a dedicated museum, turning this legendary treasure into a public trust for everyone.
And that leaves us with this final, really complex thought. The San José is so much more than just gold and silver. It's a point where empires, economies, and human lives all crash together. So who is the rightful owner of that story? Is it the country that found the wreck in its waters? Is it the empire that built it and filled its holds? Or is it the indigenous people whose ancestors forced labor and whose land produced all that wealth in the first place? As these incredible artifacts slowly rise from the deep, that question, well, it becomes more urgent than ever.